Hi, welcome back to Harmony Within, 10 Days of Conscious Breathing. This is day 2 where we will be learning about Ujjayi breath. So take a moment to set yourself up for your experience, set yourself up for success. Grab a warm beverage or a cold glass of water. Take a moment to light a candle or an incense. Create a space that you'll want to return to continue your practice. I suggest getting a pillow or a blanket to sit on top of. And of course, grabbing your journal. Beautiful. And once we are ready, we are going to just settle into our space for a moment, grab a pen in your journal, and take a second to reflect on how you're feeling right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then take a moment to write an intention for your practice. And your intention is maybe an energetic goal. Maybe you are just really curious and looking forward to learning this pranayama practice. Anything is amazing. There's no right and there's no wrong as long as we're being honest with ourselves. And once you're done with that, we will meet in a seat. So feel free to hit pause and take as much time as you'd like to. That's the beauty of an online learning container. And I'll meet you back here when you're ready in a seat, sitting nice and tall. So we want to ground down through our sit bones, nice, tall, strong back, nice open heart. We're going to bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. Let the chin soften down. Maybe you're gazing towards the ground beneath you or having your eyes closed. Give yourself a soft smile. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And then we'll take 2 more really deeply nourishing breaths in from the pit of the belly to the crown of the head. Nice, slow, smooth, and steady. There's no rush. Maybe we'll do one more. We just want to offer ourselves the time to fully arrive into our practice. Throughout our days, we are always pushed and pulled and called in so many directions. Our energy is fragmented and scattered all over the place. And when we arrive to a practice, whatever that practice may be, whether we're reading, whether we're practicing pranayama, whether we are on our mats doing yoga asana, or if we are boxing or doing karate, whatever practice that we are engaging, we should always take a few moments just to arrive fully. Always take a few moments to pull our energy in from that fragmented state to a more cohesive, mended space where we are just slowly putting the pieces together. Beautiful. And maybe find some movement if you'd like to, gentle neck rolls, some side stretches, big stretch. No right and there's no wrong. If the body needs to move, let the body move. And then we'll meet here and we'll begin our practice. So Ujjayi breath is also known as conqueror's breath or victorious breath. And we're going to practice first by pretending we are fogging up a mirror in front of our faces. So we're going to take a deep breath in, bring our hands to our hearts for a moment so we can feel the pattern of movement. We take a deep breath in and fog up that mirror. And then when we engage Ujjayi breath, we are going to be applying a little bit of pressure with our tongue to the roof of the mouth or the back of the teeth. And we're going to be pulling the breath almost like we're sipping through a straw from the base of the throat up and then letting it go, mimicking that fogging up the mirror motion, but not opening the mouth. So it's going to be like this. And you can see that foundational movement of the chest opening and coming back down is the same as fogging up a mirror with the mouth open and then closing the mouth. So we'll do one more together for practice. Beautiful. And I'll invite you to hold a mudra for your practice today. This is Dhyana mudra. We'll bring the right hand into the left, holding like a little bowl, and then let the thumbs meet. We'll bring the hands to the lower belly, and then we'll hold it here while we breathe. If you would prefer not to hold a mudra, you can just let the hands rest on top of the thighs, or you can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And Dhyana mudra is traditionally used to help reach a deep state of meditation. It's used to bring focus in and to reach an inner state of calmness. So whenever you sit up, however you'd like to be, let's close eyes down or gaze towards the ground beneath us. And we want to take a minute just to remember or remind ourselves that we are embodying the energies of strength, of structure, of softness. So we are sitting strong, but we're remaining soft. We're letting the belly find softness. We're letting the seat find softness, but we have a really strong and determined back here. And we'll begin our practice pulling in through the nose. And we'll keep that going just like that for 2 minutes. And you want to start off by matching the inhales to the exhales, finding samavriti, equal breathing. And then once you do that, you want to lengthen the exhale just a bit longer than the inhale. And you want to keep the breath flowing slow, smooth, and steady. And you want to begin to engage your senses by listening to the sound of the breath. And you want to let the sound of the breath permeate throughout the entire body. You want to feel the sound. You want to feel the vibrations from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Let every cell in the body feel enlivened with the breath. Let the whole body become the sound. Feel it deep into the core of your being. We'll do 2 more rounds. Beautiful. Take one more deep breath in. Remove the mudra if you're holding it. Bring the hands to the backs of the thighs. Take one extra sip of breath. One extra sniff. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Beautiful. Let the body move in any way it might need to. Maybe your neck wants to roll again very gently, very nurturing, in a very lovingly way, side to side. Open the shoulders, maybe take another stretch if you feel called to do so. Remembering there's no right and there's no wrong. And then when you're ready, we'll meet back here with our eyes opened. Okay, so go ahead and pause me again. Take a moment to reflect in your journal or notebook how you're feeling now as compared to a few moments ago when you arrived to your practice. And then remember, there's no right and there's no wrong. You want to reflect on how you're feeling physically and mentally and emotionally. Spiritually, you want to reflect on your experience, write down anything that comes up. And then when you're ready, we will return to our slide. Oh, this always happens. It keeps freezing on me. All right, so Ujjayi breath. When we were practicing Ujjayi, we were embodying the qualities of strength, determination, and softness. Ujjayi are also known as conqueror's breath or victorious breath. Means simply that we are conquering the nature of ourselves. So it's meant to help bring us from a busy thinking mind to a more calm and able mind and body internally to deal with whatever is happening to us externally. The translation of Ujjayi, Ud is upward or superior in rank. And before we move forward, Ujjayi, this is a Sanskrit word, as most of yoga is spoken in the language of Sanskrit. And it's broken into sound a lot. So Ud is upward or superior in rank. Jaya is conquest or victory or triumph. So when we combine these, Ujjayi is victorious or conqueror's breath. And this breath helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system by slowing the breath down. By listening to the sound of the breath, we start engaging that sensory part of the nervous system. We have the sound, we have the feeling. We are increasing our focus, and this combined is helping to anchor us into the present moment. It helps us to enhance mindfulness when we pause and we come from that busy state of go, 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 and we listen and we feel, and it brings us into the present moment. When we lengthen the exhale, the body naturally begins to relax because we're not in this contracted state of being. We are not constricted. And then when we hold the breath at the end or we retain the breath, I love to incorporate that into our breath practices because when we inhale and we are naturally activating the sympathetic part of the nervous system, so we're naturally forming constriction on the inhale. And then when we exhale, we're going into deep expansion. And this helps to train our body that to train into a habit forming of knowing that when we are feeling a heightened amount of stress and our bodies naturally contract, right? They naturally go inward. We are reminding our bodies that when we do that, afterwards, we can return to a state of balance. So a lot of times when something happens or we are activated by stress, our bodies contract and everything goes in. And this affects all the systems of our body. If you remember when we were originally talking about the nervous system, when we're constantly contracted, our breathing is shallow, our digestion is threatened. All of these things happen. And we can't stay in that stress. We can't live there. So when we practice purposefully contracting the body and then purposefully finding contraction, we start to rewire our brains so that when the body happens to engage into a heightened level of stress, which is going to happen because hello, it's life and we are humans. But then we train ourselves to subconsciously return back to homeostasis, to return back to a state of balance. when we work on that retention of breath. Beautiful. So that concludes day 2, Ujjayi breath. And I will see you for day 3 going into Nadi Shodhana. Thank you so much.